ISO 27001 Annex A 5.31 legal, statutory, regulatory and contractual requirements. So this is looking at your relationship with the law and how it applies directly to your information security management system. It's an easy one, but let's have a little look at what the standard is wanting and then we can go through how you're going to implement it. Legal, statutory, regulatory and contractual requirements relevant to information security and the organization's approach to meet these requirements should be identified, documented and kept up to date, right? Basically what it's saying is make sure you abide by the law, right? Okay, there's a little bit extra on there. You abide by your regulators, you abide by your by the contracts that you have with your clients. But this is just about abiding, right? So we're going to abide. What do we need to do here? My number one top tip, as with everything, right? This is a profession in its own right, right? I mean, this is the law. I am not a lawyer. I can't give you legal advice. I can't be legal counsel, but I can tell you how to approach it. So the way that you're going to approach it is you are going to implement a legal register. You're going to document this in a legal register. So you've got your policies, your processes in place. You're going to have a legal register, and in that legal register, you're going to document all of the laws that apply to you. I have a legal register. I provide a legal register. It's a template. It's part of the ISO 27001 toolkit. I have populated it with common UK-based laws. I'm not saying that all the laws apply to you. I'm not providing you legal guidance on it. I'm just giving you examples, right? So there's many laws in there. But what you're doing is let's identify the laws that apply to us that relate to information security and then make sure that we meet them. You're going to get legal advice, absolutely that. You're going to run it past your legal counsel. You know, I've gone on to the legislative gov website for the UK in the past and just searched on key terms like data, information security, cyber security and see what comes back. You've probably got in-country legislative websites that you can do similar on. I'm not saying just rely on that, but I'm giving you a top tip about how you can start to do that. There are some no-brainers in there, right? I mean, there'll be things that you know and there'll be things that people just in general would know. You know, if you're in the European Union, then the GDPR would probably apply. Data protection always applies irrespective of where you are in the world. You're going to have some variations on things like computer misuse, etc. So whatever those are that you think you know, make sure they're included because your auditor is going to know them. But let's go through and identify all of the laws and document them and then make sure that we adhere to them. We're going to look at our contracts with our suppliers. We're going to look at our contracts with our customers and see if there's anything specific in there that we've signed up to above and beyond. And we're going to make sure we record that. It can be that, you know, contractual requirements say you have to have certain technical controls in place that you don't necessarily have, or that those technical controls have to be a little bit more robust in terms of that particular client. And you're going to go to your regulator and look and see what the regulator is going to say. 9 times out of the 10, the regulator only says something high level like have an information security management system such as or aligned with ISO 27001. That's usually as far as it goes, but it depends again what regulated industry you're in. If you're in healthcare, it may be that actually there are other things that and other standards and other controls you need to implement. So you're going to record that, you're going to get that approved, you're going to get that signed off by your legal counsel and you're going to have it. What you're also going to bear in mind though is that here it says the organization's approach to meet those requirements documented, identified and kept up to date. What that means is that anything that goes on your legal register is fair game, right? I mean, it's fair game. So if you say that GDPR applies to you, come the audit, it is not beyond a realm of possibility that the auditor is going to look at some basic GDPR implementation points. So if they say, oh, you said GDPR applies, let me have a look on your website, let me have a look at your cookie policy, let me see whether or not you've registered in the UK, the Information Commissioner's Officer, but with your regulator, let's see whether or not you've paid your fees. So some basics like that, right? So they can kick the tires of other things that you put on there. So just be wary of it. You know, if you put something on the legal register and you don't understand it, probably better not to have it, right? Because you don't want to say that you do something and then you don't do it. So there is a little bit of a danger with that. But that's the legal and contractual requirements register. We're going to have a look at things in there about getting help and support on cryptography, right? Cryptographic controls, again, depending on where you are. different laws, different rules apply to that. You need legal help, right? When you're looking at your implementation, if you're implementing bespoke cryptography, but anyway, for belts and braces, get legal to look it over and make sure that you're doing the right thing and that you've identified the right laws that apply to you. And obviously we need to make sure that we've got contracts in place, contracts with suppliers, contracts with clients, contracts with insurers, contracts with investors. Just make sure that you have a contractual legal framework in place, right? Because contracts impact information security, they provide you a level of protection, and contracts will be expected to be in place across the board. So nice and easy, really. It's not hard to implement it. It's just about getting it right. It's about talking to legal counsel and making sure it's right. And then it's about making sure that you can evidence that you meet the law. Nobody is going to be in a business where they don't meet the law, right? I mean, why would you be? And clearly you're going to fail the standard if you don't meet the law. I do get the question a lot, can you provide me a list of laws in Australia or in America? And the answer to that is clearly no, because I'm not a lawyer. But you should know the laws that apply to you, right? I mean, it's your business, right? It's your industry. It's you and your operation. So I can't tell you what laws apply to you because I don't know you, but you do. And I just repeat and repeat and repeat. If you don't know, get some legal help and legal advice. But Stuart, it costs an absolute fortune. Yeah, I know, right? That's what lawyers charge, but go and pay it. So I am Stuart Barker, I am the ISO 27001 Ninja. I am walking you through the Annex A's. I remain at your disposal and I remain at your behest. But for now, for this particular control, you are absolutely good to go. Until the next one, peace out.